Hello, my name is Netunel Jeremy Suteja and I am from Mojokerto City and I'm representing SMA 10 for the cons of the house that would give social services and skill training for gambling offenders rather than imprisonment. Cons. They should be imprisoned. Not only are rehab patients more likely to repeat their actions more than the usual imprisoned gamblers, they also have enough freedom to gamble while in rehab. The Association of Indonesian Mental Health Specialists, Doctors PB&J, says that gambling addiction has similar effects to substance addictions. The deputy head of PB&J Addiction Psychiatry Division, Dr. Christiana Siste Kurnisyanti, said that the differences between the two is the type. Gambling addiction is included in the behavioral addiction. People with addiction use substances or carry out certain behaviors that become compulsive for them, and they often continue even though they know the bad consequences of using these substances for behavior, said Christiana in the Indonesian Doctors Association IDI media briefing on Friday 26/7/2024. Statistics on gambling relapse rates in Indonesia. While specific statistics on gambling relapse in Indonesia are limited, the following insights can be drawn from available data and general trends observed in gambling addiction. First of all, the general relapse rate has approximately 90% of individuals with gambling addiction experience a relapse after treatment. Local studies say that 60% of individuals who completed rehabilitation programs relapsed within the first year. Time frame for relapse. Many relapses occur within the first 6 months after completing a rehabilitation program. Conclusion. The statistics indicate that relapse is a significant challenge for individuals recovering from gambling addiction in Indonesia, with a staggering 90% experiencing a relapse at some point. The data suggests that rehabilitation will not work because imprisonment not only gives consequences but also fear of consequences. Gamblers are imprisoned because the practices of gambling is an illegal act and violates the laws in Indonesia as regulated in the Criminal Code KUHP, which threatens the perpetrators with imprisonment and/or fines. With the Article 303 of the Criminal Code KUHP regulate gambling organized with a permit. This article threatens imprisonment people who recognize or provide opportunities to gamble. As stated by the Coordinating Minister for Community Empowerment, Muhaimin Iskandar, the rehabilitation of online gambling addicts will receive assistance from the government. Some of these include assistance with the cost of rehabilitation treatment in hospitals through the Social Security Administering Body BPJS Health Scheme, as well as social assistance from the Ministry of Social Affairs Kemensos. Sources say from Indonesia.go.id. It is stated that BPJS, part of the Indonesian government, and using part of the Indonesian money to rehabilitate gamblers will ultimately set back Indonesia itself due to the funding being used to rehab patients, which at minimum will take about 3 to 6 months, and sessions every day with the cost of 500,000 rupiah every session. It needs a minimum of 45 million rupiah, whereas people who are incarcerated can pay the fine and pay the maximum fine of 50 million rupiah based on the new criminal code KUHP Article 427 for players. This means that if we choose to rehabilitate those gamblers, we will drain money from Indonesian governments, setting us back and perhaps even increasing taxes for Indonesians all around. But if we incarcerate them, imprison them, Indonesia won't lose as much. Instead, those gamblers, the people who did those bad things, who gambled their money away, is the one who loses their money, and not the Indonesian government, which instead can be used to help Indonesian government instead of draining us. Thank you for this.